While I did have acne as a kid, that was something that was very easy to target. There were so many products on the market specifically meant to help me, a young teenager who had pimples, solve that problem. There were salicylic acid spot treatments, there were face washes, there was everything. That was a problem that so many people had. And even though I was self-conscious about it, that really wasn't an issue that I've had to continue to work with. Instead, I was very self-conscious about my arms, specifically about what was on them. I would have very bumpy skin on my arms to the point where they kind of looked like chicken skin. There were these just weird, not irritated, but just solid little bumps that you couldn't pop, you couldn't just pick off, they just stuck to you and they were there. And I didn't know what to do about it. After talking about it a little bit with my mom, we found out that it is something called KP, or Keratosis Pilaris, which is a completely harmless, very common skin condition where your skin is producing too much keratin around the hair follicles, which is the protein that protects your skin and is actually the same thing that your nails and your hair is made out of, so that it would create little bumps on your skin that wouldn't really go away. It tends to be pretty common to see on people in their teenage to young adult years, where you can get it very commonly on your arms, on your legs, on your cheeks, and even on your butt, and is not really known about what causes it or how to really get rid of it anyway. Given that it is a knowingly harmless disease, not that much research is put towards it. What we do know now about this condition is that it is very much worse in the winter and dry months, and does very well when you keep the area moisturized. It won't go away, but it will look not nearly as bad. And it also tends to go away after you hit your 30s, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'm 23 years old. I don't want to wait 7+ years for this condition to go away. I want to find a way to get rid of this and to make my arms look a lot better for when I want to wear short sleeve shirts like this outside. The first product I have ever used for my arms to get rid of this condition was one that I think most people who have this condition are very familiar with, which was DERMADOCTOR's KP Duty. This was a cream that came in this little tube with this girl in an apron looking like a boss babe, and you would put it on your arms and it worked pretty well. It would get rid of a lot of the texture going on there, but it's not really the most convenient thing to get. It is a 4-ounce tube that you're paying $40 for, and that adds up. You go through that cream quick when you have so much surface area on your arms, and you got 2 of them to get through. And it could also just have worked better, more efficiently. You wouldn't really notice the results that dramatically, and it really made you wonder if you wanted to be paying that much for something that you felt like you could live with. It's something that you just have to wear a long sleeve shirt about. Is this something that I want to get rid of? And it's also not the type of thing that you're going to cure by getting rid of them once. If you stop using the cream, they're gonna come back. So why put in this investment to something so often when it's not going to be a full-time solution anyway? After doing a little bit of research, I found some more products that would end up working well. AMLACTIN is the very popular choice for people to look for an economical solution to get rid of their KP, which is a lotion that is known for having ammonium lactate, which is a derivative of lactic acid, which will help you exfoliate your arms. And this made a lot of sense, because if you look at the active ingredients of KP Duty and why that worked so well, it used 3 main ingredients. It used urea, it used salicylic acid, and it used glycolic acid. The mixture of the AHA, the BHA, and the urea, which is both moisturizing and slightly exfoliating, would work very well to help get rid of that keratin plug on your skin and get it all off. AMLACTIN is working in a very similar way, only using the AHA in this instance to get rid of everything in a cream form at a much better price. It's usually around $15 to $20 for 8 ounces. So half as much for 2 times as much. Great deal, right? I actually wasn't super satisfied with the results of AMLACTIN compared to the KP Duty, and I know I'm not the only one, where it would work, but it wouldn't work amazingly. It would take a very long amount of time. It smelled awful. That's part of the issue with AMLACTIN. It just does not smell good. And when you put on that cream on your arms all the time, it makes your skin very photosensitive. I remember I went to a picnic once to go to a bunch of food trucks, and after I came back, my arms were burnt because I had neglected to put on enough suntan lotion, enough sunscreen onto my arms after using this product. So I continued on the look. So after the sunscreen issue, I was concerned about using the AHA because AHAs do make your skin more photosensitive compared to a lot of other ingredients. So I thought, why not try the urea and the BHA? See how those two work together. And I found the CeraVe Psoriasis cream, which has those two ingredients. It has the urea and it has the salicylic acid. And this is a cream that is meant for psoriasis, which it actually does a pretty good job of. I did have an independent case of psoriasis on my arms that it was able to get rid of weirdly well. But when it came to attacking the KP, it did a really mediocre job of it. It also just didn't have a great texture going on, where I really like a body lotion that just melts directly into my skin. I don't want to have to keep on rubbing it to get in there and moisturize every single part of my skin out there. So this was a no-go. I ended up using this mostly on my feet, which it actually did a really good job of. Fun fact, if you want a good foot cream, urea-based creams are amazing for your feet, but this definitely wasn't a rebuy, so I went back to the shopping block. Sticking with the CeraVe, I actually decided to look at their SA line, which still was salicylic acid based, but if I could get in a lotion consistency, maybe that'd be a bit better. And the SA lotion also has that AHA as well as the salicylic acid in it to make it work well. And this product actually did a pretty good job with my arms. I was pretty happy with it, but for the most part, it still wasn't solving everything that I wanted it to. It wasn't getting rid of all the bumps. It wasn't really attacking everything that I wanted to so that I could get that smooth arm and have a great feeling regarding all of that. All 3 of these creams and lotions were about the same price and the same size at 8 ounces. So you're paying $15 to $20 for that 8 ounce of product that is trying to be both a moisturizer, a hydrator, and an exfoliator all in one. And I had to think to myself a little bit. This didn't seem very efficient. It seemed like this is not about what I learned with all the skincare knowledge I have. When I put skincare on my face, I'm not using an all-in-one cream. I'm not using a salicylic acid cream on my face as my moisturizer and my exfoliant. That's not how we do things. We want to use a more liquid, purpose-built exfoliator that will do its job very well, and then let a moisturizer that's built with its ingredients to do their job really well. Why am I trying to take too many steps to fix it all in one easy go? Is that really realistic? Some brands like First Aid Beauty and Skin Fix have released scrubs that contain these ingredients of these exfoliating acids, but also physical exfoliants to try to get rid of that, which I wasn't really excited about trying out. I had like a little bit of a sample of some of them when I went to Sephora, and it felt really harsh. It's a lot of that manual exfoliation going on to really try to rip off all those layers of my skin, which didn't feel like the most productive way to go forward. And it was going to be washed right off anyway, so how much is that exfoliating acid really going to be doing when it's not staying on my skin for a long amount of time? It's mostly going to be that manual scrubbing of all that stuff off, which I can do at home with something else. Like I used to use Salixes, which are Japanese, basically plastic loofahs. And those didn't really do enough either. There needed to be a better solution. I have exfoliating liquids already. I have those available to me. Why not use those? And why not use one that comes in a huge container? And that's what brought me to the Ordinary's Glycolic Toning Solution, which is such an interesting product that goes against everything else in the Ordinary's product range, where the Ordinary, I feel like, is a brand that's all about simple ingredients lists in small packages for a low upfront price. So you could keep on rebuying, trying out new things, and going for it. This is still cheap, but this is a more complicated formula, and it's in a large bottle. We're getting 8 full ounces of product in here. And it also has a rosewater base, which is really interesting to me because that is a fragrant compound for some people, but The Ordinary is very much a no fragrance company. So this is just a very strange product in that lineup, but it is perfect for this particular solution. You see, I thought, why not put this toner directly onto my arms, let it dry on and stay on overnight, and do its job really well. It's mostly glycolic acid, and it's in a liquid formula, so this is what it's supposed to do, and just leave it on. And you know, it works really well. As you can see, I haven't used a lot of it so far. This is still very early on, so there still is work that I need to do on my arms, but this has given me by far the most impressive results out of every solution I've tried to get rid of the KP in this short amount of time already. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about the process. But before I get into that, let me tell you how I'm doing it. So the first thing is, every night I take this and I drip it all over my arms and I rub it in to make sure that I feel that my entire arm area is covered by some amount of this liquid. It will smell like rose water, but it will also fade away very quickly, and just make sure that it's able to stay on and dry while I do the rest of my face routine. I will start off with this so that it will have its time to work. This is important because by itself, it's just going to be an exfoliant. And this is really important because, as we spoke before, KP requires more than just exfoliation, which that toner is only going to do exfoliation. It also really likes moisturizing to help out, make sure everything gets soft and gets rid of all the hardness. And that's why I want to wait for it to dry off, and then I rub my arms in my body lotion of choice, which right now is the CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion, which I will put on after it is dried, after I have done my entire face routine, and just give my arms a nice amount of moisture for the night. It will seal it in, it will hydrate it, and it will make sure that everything is ready for the night. And that is all I do for my arm. In the mornings, though, it is important to make sure that you put on a sunscreen because this is a strong AHA. It's going to get rid of a lot of those skin cells, so you need to go in with a sunscreen. And right now I'm staying on the train of the best bang for your buck skincare, and the Coppertone Pure and Simple Mineral Sunscreen is a great thing to be putting on your body because who cares how it looks on your arms, and no one's looking on your damn arms because they're bumpy and gross anyway. It's not going on my face, might as well get use of it somewhere else and put it on those arms and make sure that they do not get sunburnt. This is the last step I do. Just 3 simple products that come in very affordable packages for how much you get. Exfoliate, moisturize, sunscreen. That's it. So why is it that this more in-depth process is working better than these creams that were meant to target this condition in the first place, that were meant to do that exfoliation? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with how effective the exfoliation is going to be in a liquid versus in a cream that's also trying to do more things at once. Let's take a look at the sciencey side of things and say, what does pH mean in this whole context? Which the pH is how acidic or how alkaline a product is going to be in relation to everything else. Your skin naturally is acidic, and it's important to remember that because you want to keep your skin at that same acidity so that you're not really messing it up too much. I'm not a chemist, I'm not a biologist. Go to somebody else like Lab Meth and Beauty who has an amazing article regarding all of this to get better information. But AHAs and exfoliating acids also really care about pH as well, where they are going to be more efficient the more acidic that they are. AKA, the lower the pH, the more effective your acid is going to be on your skin. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Again, please go to somebody who knows what they're talking about for all the information, but keeping it simple for the sake of this video. If we take a look at the CeraVe SA Lotion, which I have right here, I did a pH test of it with these fancy little strips, and I'm not gonna be able to get a great view of it on the camera without doing a little bit of finagling, but it's at about a 4.5 pH, which is still definitely acidic, but we can do a lot better than this. We want to get more to a 2 to a 3.5-ish with a pH to get that AHA really working its magic in there. The SA Lotion isn't doing any better, where when I have its little pH test strip over here, it's more at about a 5. Again, this is not the most perfect way of testing a pH. There are so many better ways of doing it, but the strip is going to give us a pretty decent indication of about where it's going to be, a good approximation of what the pH is. Not exact, but relative. You can compare them to each other. When we look at the Ordinary's glycolic acid solution, we do get a little bit of a spoiler on the label, but it is a lot darker. It is at a 3.5, which is perfect for where we want to be in terms of actually getting a good enough exfoliation to really attack my dead skin cells on there and get those keratin plugs off my damn arms. Before any of you come at me at the comment section, yes, I do this every night, even though a lot of people recommend, me included, that you don't exfoliate your skin every single night. That can be too much. And I say that's mostly for my face, where I want to make sure that I give my face time to get back to being normal, to kind of relax a little bit, not to overwhelm it. But my arms, this is a holy war. I am trying to attack these bumps off my arms, and they are more resilient skin too. The skin on your arms, on your back, on your body, for the most part, are a lot easier to attack with all these different exfoliants to be scrubbing over than your more delicate skin on your face. And that really is my story with KP, and something that I hope is going to help a lot of you who are suffering from similar things get over. This is still an ongoing journey for me that's probably going to last for another 7 years, as I said. But if I can do things that make it better, that are bigger improvements that I'm excited to do because they work and are affordable, I want to share them with the world. I wish I had more before and after pictures, but it's actually really hard to get good photographic evidence of the bumps on your skin. Just not great contrast going on that you can get in a 2D photo. It's a lot better if you can see it in person. But it really works, and it's working this quickly, which is amazing. And if I get to a point where my arms are just clear and there's no bumps whatsoever, I will tell you. It's so exciting for me. And that's all I have. That's all I really want to talk about. It's a simple procedure that comes with a long journey, and this is a different type of video for me, but I'm trying it out. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like down below, and maybe even subscribe too if you want to see more videos about my journey in skincare. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.